All right, we're getting started. I woke up this morning, my phone was buzzing. I saw all of this stuff. I saw people freaking out across the world. And I was like, why am I not afraid? Why am I not scared? What's the deal? And I thought about it, all right? I'm not going to get into, quote, politics or this or that, because I really don't get in that stuff. But I understand that a lot of people are in a freak out mode. They're kind of losing it. I had all kind of emails, Facebook posts, people creating groups. But this is something that I've noticed, that the people who are most impacted by any economic, and this is an economic shift, are poor people. It's poor people. That's what's going to be the issue. Poor people, folks who don't have any money, folks who don't have any representation. You don't have any money, you don't have any representation. So I'm going to tell you what you can do about it if you're one of the people who are freaking out. Under the stream, I am shaking in my boots. Don't shake in your boots. Don't, all right. First of all, like I said, I'm not getting into politics or any of this other stuff. What I'm going to say is you have a choice. You have a choice to be successful. You have a choice to make a better life for yourself and your family. You have a choice. And I woke up and I rolled back over and then my phone buzzed again and I saw all of this stuff because this is the thing. It doesn't matter who is in office if you put your mind to making money. And trust me, over these next 4 years, and this is why this is an economic shift, if you are poor, you don't have any money, you don't have any resources, you're going to be fucked. Now, I'm going to say something that a lot of people don't want to hear. If Hillary had won, if you don't have any money, you don't have any resources, you're going to be fucked. It's just going to be an additional fucking from the Republicans. That's what it is. And one of the reasons that I don't really worry about this stuff and I don't get overly involved in politics and go back and forth on this or that is if you have money, if you have a business, this new regime is going to help you. There are going to be a group of people who are going to make so much damn money from this, it's going to be ridiculous. JC Sanchez. See, this is what I want to hear. Hey, Glendon, I'm not scared. I'm running my own business and I am thriving. So that is that's the mindset, JC. That's the mindset to have because 2009, I built this business here and I want you to think about it, 2009, shit was much, much worse. There was a significant number of people unemployed. Many of those folks are still unemployed. That's what is the big turnout for Trump. Disenfranchised white males who can't figure out that the world has changed and they're thinking there was other people. And I'm telling you, if you decide today that you're going to change your economic futures, you will. Because see, this is the thing. I live in a pretty nice neighborhood, right? And I'm out in restaurants. I'm out talking to people. I go shopping. I don't really hear too many political talk. There's not a lot. There's no Trump signs around here. There's no Clinton signs around here. But I go to poorer parts of town, chat. See, this is the thing. They're not going to save you. They can't help you. That's your job for you to go ahead and build your business. Create your own fortune. What's up, man? We got a lot of people in here. Dragon, to talk to me is a consultant. There's a price for that. Erica Williams, so much truth with Dragon Isley. Good morning, Shalise. What's up, Irvin? That's the difference between broke and wealthy. Yes, that's the ticket. That's the mindset. This is not a day if you have a plan, if you are willing to do some hard work for you to be sad and downtrodden. Let me tell you what group of people are going to be fucked. Poor people. Let's see. We buy gold and sell. All right. I'm working on testing any t-shirt designs. Don't care who's president. That's the ticket. Money over politics. That's the ticket. I expected this crap, Cedric. I expected this crap to happen. It doesn't affect me one way or another. That's the attitude that you want to have. You got to think like that. Let's see. Ferlin, I started a structural steel and non-destructive inspection company. Cool, cool, cool. We have private money deals. Damn, this is true. Yes, there's opportunity here. I'm going to build some as soon as I figure it out. Well, one of the reasons I'm doing this is I'm offering the mind over money sale today. All of my all right, let me be clear. If it's a monthly subscription program, that's not on sale. I just raised the prices on that. But all of my courses at hustlerskungfulifeskills.com, all of my courses at hustlerskungfudojo.com are 50% off today. I call it the mind over matter sale. Because this is the thing. The information that is in those courses is what allowed me to create a business at one of the worst economic points in history aside from the Great Depression and get up to 7 figures in 38 months. That's the information you'll be getting. How much is it? How much is the fee to talk to you? All right, I will address that to Captain 42809. There's 2 ways to talk to me. My time is $1,000 an hour, or you can join one of my paid group, and everyone that's a member of a group gets consults at 50% off. So that's how you can do that. You can email my assistant and she'll send you an invoice. Now to Irvin, no, it ain't just black folks. Okay, this is the thing. I'm gonna give you some numbers here. There are 330 million people in America. Guess how many of those people make under $50,000 a year? Take a wild guess. Put it in the comments. How many people make under $50,000 a year? I'll answer that later. I was just saying this, got to get off your ass and work. C to the random. Yes, yes, yes. That's the ticket, right? I started a mobile notary business. Started a business. That's Irvin. Obama ruled for 8 years. Nothing happened. Let's give Trump a chance. Mike Johnson. Let's see. Santiago B. LOL. Blake Rowley. Invest in yourself. Lawrence D. Adams. This is the best time to be alive. Santiago B. Opportunities out the ass. What's a good course for a rookie? 30 days to 2,500. Love the camera angles. Let's see. Thanks, Blake. Raquel, pretty damn close. 70% of America makes less than 50 G's a year. That's not household income. That is personal income. Single person income is roughly like 33 to 38 grand a year. That's the group that's going to get fucked. Morning, Diana. Over half, well over half. 300 million. Kaiser Moore, 90%. It's 72%. My girl just got like a crazy promotion, and she was looking at her income and she didn't understand where she went because she got like fucking 68% raise. And let's see, Miami Cuts Barbershop. I just closed my barbershop for 5 years because too much out of my pocket cost. I bought a nice 10x6 shed and hooked it up to work out of until I find a new location that make a profit. I'll talk about that. I had a store on Lawrenceville Highway in Tucker, Georgia. Had the same problem. Crazy high rent. Very, very poor foot traffic. We made more money from online sales than we did from renting that spot. So that's kind of something that we did. We shut the stores down. We shut all of the stores down, and we got additional warehouse space, and we ran our business 100% out the warehouse. Most money we ever made. So I totally understand where you are, Miami Cuts. JC Sanchez, I'm seeing the trend. All the people complaining that Trump won seem to have a poor mentality. This especially applies to people I know. I see it on Facebook today. Dude, you're going to see a lot of belly aching. You're going to see a lot of folks saying this is the end. And once again, when Obama was elected, things were really, really bad around the world. It is not that bad right now. So if I and many people got rich, during the quote Great Recession. There's so much opportunity. And one of the things is, because, I've had a lot of people try to turn this channel into, hey, do a video on Trump. I'm like, I ain't getting in politics, because politics is very much a religion for some people. And if you ain't with them, you wrong. That's just it. Facts be damned. Facts be damned. Let's see. Let me go back up. The only valuable color, real money, the only valuable color in the U.S. is green. You are right. Let's see. Over 80%, 90%. 250 million. Best book ever written. I think it Grow Rich. Yes, the barbershop needs a ton of employees renting booths out. Let me tell you how she got the promotion. She actually did some networking. She went around human resources. She talked to the department and she got in. She used the hustler's mindset. Let's see. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia sometimes. Okay. I don't know what that means. Mother's Mustache. I'm in Cobb County. I didn't know you were in Georgia too. I am in Chastain Park, where they be having all these concerts. Sure thing, Miami. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, because rent, and this is one of the reasons that I've consistently said over the years, do not open up a physical store until you get some kind of economic stream going, because that rent can be crushing. That rent can be no joke. It's all about the mindset. Once again, for everybody that's here, I have the mind over money, mind over money sale, the hustle sale, 50% off everything at hustlerskungfu.com, Hustlers Kung Fu Dojo. This is what you do. You go there, you pick what you want. The monthly courses, the monthly memberships are not on sale. I'm not doing that, just raise those prices. But everything else is 50% off. You pick what you want, send the name of the course to my assistant at hustlerskungfu@gmail.com. You will get a payment link, and once you pay, you will be set up. It's that cool. And yes, it's all about mindset. Money, power, people, true. Morning Blue. No, I would never even think about something like that. That's too much of a ego boost. Let's see. Morning Power Influence. Congratulations. Louis the Seller has come out of his hole. Only way I get in politics this year was by selling political shirts on merch by Amazon. Cha-ching. I have a house there in Buckhead. What about beauty supply companies? Do they work? Okay, let's talk about that. You got to stop thinking of the company as being the solution. The solution is the audience. You find an audience, you find a it's, in old school, it was called a demographic. You find an audience, you find a demographic, and you try to serve that demographic. Okay, I'll give you an example. I woke up because I got like a few courses to do, and then I just, looked at my phone, it's charging up, and I started to see what people were saying, and I just saw poverty mindset. I saw people who were losing it. I saw people who were crying, literally crying. And I was just like, it ain't that bad, people. It ain't that bad. And I was like, there's an audience that needs help. I got the solution. You start a business, because this is something I've been saying, and this is not a deviation from what I have taught over the years. If you are poor, you are fucked. I'll tell you a story in a minute. I'm going to go through this. That's why I deactivated my Facebook account. Janice Omega, no excuses, just solutions. We're responsible. If we get back to what God called us to do, we'll be more successful. Talents. You got to get out there and hustle. You got to make it happen. All right, here's the story. And I had a lot of people, and this is a police story. I bought a brand new BMW paid cash from private owner, right? Didn't have a tag. So knowing the lay of the law, I did not have the stupidity to not expect to be pulled over. It's a flashy car. It's fast. I'm speeding. So in the visor, not in the glove department, I had the bill of sale, all of the stuff, insurance paper and everything. I got all that done. I got the insurance on the car while I was at the guy's house. I expected to get pulled over. Now, this is what I didn't expect. My license, for some strange reason, was suspended due to, they said I didn't pay a ticket in 1997, which I did. I remember I went to court because it was a bunch of bullshit. Well, I get pulled over like I expected. Cop comes up to the car. I'm like this. I have no tag. I'm in a new car. I'm flying all over Buckhead. Okay, I expect this, right? She comes back. Your license is suspended. And this is what I said. No, it's not. Recently, I was writing this book for Uber, and I got signed up in their background check. And no, that's a mistake. Go check again. That's what I said. All right. I got a skull cap on and a hoodie because it's January, right? She goes back to her car. She comes back. Your license has been renewed several times. I was like, yeah, you see what I mean? And we're having this conversation. She's got a hand on the hip. She's relaxed. She's like, and she says these words. I'm not going to arrest you. I'm not going to impound your car. That's clearly a mistake. Just go to court and get it cleared up. Went to court and got it dismissed. Now, if I've been acting like these people here on Facebook, my ass would have been in the back of the car, hands in handcuffs, car impounded, having to pay more fucking money because I want to protest like a bitch on a situation that doesn't warrant it. Also, another reason you want to own your own business is you learn boss talk. Because see, some of y'all didn't miss it, but I'm going to go back. I said, no, it's not. Go back to your car and check. I told that cop to do it, and she did it. When you become the boss, you get used to ordering people around. It becomes part of your DNA. You become comfortable with making decisions and being a leader. And this shit impacts your whole life. That's why I keep urging people, start businesses. No, I don't want the responsibility. I just want to make a little extra money. You got to do that. All right, we got some great comments today. Basically, GC, poverty equals fuck. It's been that way since the foundation. Yes, Morning Blue, yes. Thanks for this, because people are acting as if the sky is falling. It ain't falling. It ain't even close to falling. Right now, I want you to think about it. If you choose to take my mind over money sale opportunity, which ends today, you choose to jump on that, right? Imagine this is what's going to happen. A bunch of people, instead of taking action, trying to address their fears, start a business, get some money, they're going to spend the next 6 months to a year talking about what Trump didn't do, what he did do, and they're going to slice this shit up for a whole year. You will have people who have minimum wage fucking jobs who will be on Facebook yakking about this shit versus creating a business that will free them and improve their lot in life. Now, since they're going to be doing that, and if you are building that business, right, making that money, creating a solid economic foundation for your family, you will be so far ahead of them. Because a lot of people have got their heads down. I saw, I saw clips of folks at the Clinton headquarters crying and shit. I'm like, now this is just me. This is just me. This is how I roll. This is how I look. I don't think the president of the United States, whoever that is, really has any fucking impact on my day-to-day life. I just don't. I felt this way for years, and I run with it. And I just feel there was this guy who made this comment, and he was talking about me, and I just learned not to answer. And it was just like, listen again. And he's just like self-reliant as fuck. It's like he's the type of guy that just refuses to work for anyone, just super. And he was making it sound like being self-reliant was bad. And I was just sitting there like, what's fucking wrong with being self-reliant? What is wrong with that? And, it was just really illuminating how people think, how they are, what they think is the appropriate way for them to live. The reality is these are some of the best times in the world. These are times that you could create billion-dollar fortunes in 5 years. Uber. These are the times that you could create Elite Daily Candy 2012, sell it for 50 million in 2014. These are the times that we're living in. I refuse to be down. I refuse to get sucked up into the muck of this and all this, because I'm a self-directed person. And that's just the boss mindset, which is one of the courses at hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. Anton Gitz, thanks for this, because people are acting as the sky's falling. Genesis Omega. Let's see. Wait a minute. I am poor, scratching my head. Damn, I'm fucked. Seriously. Entitlement, no money. Money is privileged. Don't pay your taxes, born place. I'm not going to recommend that one. And let's see. And boss talk isn't talking crazy either. People get it confused. Going back to the example of the cop. Your license is suspended. No, it's not. Real low key. And I didn't even think about it. I just said, no, it's not. Because in my mind, my license wasn't suspended. And I just did the Uber thing for like 6 weeks. They went ahead and did that. I was like, no, you can go ahead and check it. And I told her, go back to your car and check it. Boss talk isn't screaming. It isn't yelling. It is a confident, self-assured manner that promotes and prompts people to do what you want them to do. And there's a little NLP in there too. And a lot of people don't catch on to that. Confidence is hard to find. Yes. Confidence isn't meant to be found. Confidence is meant to be created. You got to create this. One of the reasons I'm confident, and I went from a state of living in my fucking car to living in a boarding house. This is not some jacked up hero story by Joseph Campbell. This is my real fucking life experience, from living in a boarding house to working my way into Rent-A-Crate to getting a 6-figure sales job, dropped out of college, no fucking degree, no help from family, completely ass out, to running a successful storage auction business, the upscale garage sale, to starting on YouTube, getting in publishing, starting a media company, not knowing what the fuck I was doing, and being successful. That's what breeds confidence, not finding it. You got to earn it. You got to make it. You got to build your confidence. And once you build it, nobody can take it away from you. Owner's rule. Alice Hardy. I'm going to say that again. Alice Hardy, owner's rule. Owner's rule. Owner's rule. And I'm going to say something that's going to be very, very controversial here. I am going to take part of the day and dissect exactly what Donald Trump did so I can make some more money. I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to put my head in the sand. I'm not going to cry and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, here's someone who's 100% unqualified to run the country. No experience, no government experience, four bankruptcies, a lot of other stuff, multiple divorces, sexual assault accusations, and it didn't matter. Now, let's get away from the personal stuff and look at the structure of how that happened. What did he do to make that happen? And if you can figure that shit out, you can make some money. That's how I'm looking at this. That's how I'm looking at it. Let's see. Let's go. Whoa, we get. Let's see. Whoa. All right. LOL. Boss talk saves your ass. It does. Get to the money as fast as you can. Yep. Mother's mustache. That's real talk. Poor is a true struggle. I mean, like, no money, can't eat, doing whatever it takes to make the rent, even if you ain't got the lights at the moment. I've been there and I will never be there again. That's the ticket. Lobbying equals voting. Yes. See, this is what I like about Hustlers Kung Fu. We got an intelligent crowd that comes to this channel. Build a foundation first and execute. No interconnection to other people. So many first gen millionaires will be made next year while everybody is whining. The same as every year. Yep. I refuse to be down. All is not lost for black folks. And this is something else too. If you didn't know this, there was a lot of black folks on Trump's side. Next year, there'll even be more. See, this is the thing. You can do whatever you want as long as you execute well. Remember 9/11? Giuliani was under personal crisis. He was cheating on his wife. He had moved his mistress into the governor's mansion. He was under fire for that. Then 9/11 happened and he rose. I mean, he was a great leader. I'm not going to take anything from him. He was an amazing leader for for really New York, United States. He was an amazing leader, and all of that shit was forgotten because he executed. Look it up. So that's the power of execution. You can fuck up, but if you execute on a grand level, oh my God, the shit you can get away with. Whiffer harder. I like your message, inspiring, but where do I start? First thing you need to do is take inventory of what you want to do. Like if you have a passion, even though I think passion is the wrong way to start a business, some people's passions will work. Figure out some that you have in you, right? That can serve the world. Now the product, like, okay, this is the new mission of Hustlers Kung Fu. Teaching people how to make money without a job and ultimately thrust you into business ownership. I've had maybe 200, 300 people that I know have gone from a job to a business to 6 to 7 figures from this channel. I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. There needs to be more. And part of that is bringing the right people in with the right mindsets who will execute. In this channel, and I'm not bragging because if you check the comments, you'll see it. There are people who've come to this channel, started watching, started executing. A few streams ago, a lady watched the how to start a service business video and got a $700 company going in a few weeks. All she did was watch the video. She did not call me for a consult. She did not pay me any money. She didn't even buy any courses. She just watched that video and executed. There are tons of videos on this channel like that, but people are looking for some really slick, super quick, i.e. I don't have to bust my ass effort, a way of making money, and they just don't exist for most people. They just don't. Turn off the TV. That's a good start. Morning Blue. Mother's Mustache. I love saying that name. It cracks me up. Self-reliant. If you cannot count on yourself, then who the hell are you going to count on? I refuse to follow another human being. Are you trained in NLP? I'm not trained. I read books years ago and I've used some of it and I can tell you it works. Neuro-linguistic programming. Some people call it hypnosis. Some people call it indoctrination. Some people call it propaganda. It's a way that you can influence people to do the things that you want. I used it on the cop. And I used it subconsciously. I did not think, oh, I need to sit here and use neuro-linguistic programming on this cop. It was just, oh, my license is not suspended. Go to your car and check. It works. Louis, the cop. No, I was in my car. She didn't know how big I was. And I'm only 6'1". And if she was scared, she would have called backup. She did not call backup. She went to her car, sat there about 5 minutes, went and saw that my license had been renewed several times. And she's like, okay, this is weird. And she was scratching her head. And, she was doing her job. I was doing my job. And everybody lived. Because, see, one of the things that I got a lot of criticism for and why I got rid of a lot of people on my page is, all right, this is going to be very controversial. Police brutality impacts poor people. Black poor people. Hispanic males are shot on the same level as black males, but nobody talks about it. Poor white males are shot at the same level, but no one talks about it. And if you're poor, the chances of you being fucked are so high. It's insane. Because, all right, who the bullies pick on, right? In school, college, in life, they pick on people they feel cannot defend themselves. Who do the tiger in the Serengeti, in the African jungle, right? Tiger's got two choices. There's this wounded antelope and there's this healthy antelope. What do? They go for the wounded one. That's the way of the world. The weak are preyed upon by the strong. This shit ain't going to change. It's just not. Michael, self-made. Let's see. Whoa. Hold on. I'm still in these comments. Let's see. Whoa. Whoa. Good Lord. All right. There's a ton of comments here. Why are a lot of people talking about what do I tell my kids that Trump won? You explain to them how life works. Sharice Moore, I love that. Build your confidence. Yeah, this is something you got to build. It's not going to happen. Real money, true. Jetty Ace dissect. It certainly shows anything is pop. I'm like, okay, I've been looking at this. All right, I'm going to say something else, and I have to preface this as they're controversial and I don't agree with it. Hitler was a fucking genius. He was an amoral, morally bankrupt sociopath, but that motherfucker was a genius, and he used propaganda before he came to power to be able to kill innocent and murder people. And once again, in history, I look at this stuff, I'm like, what made people follow this motherfucker? Not to be like him, but to take those elements, those skill sets, because there are skill sets. He was a fucking genius. You just cannot command a nation to say, let's go out and slaughter all these innocent people. There was a process. It's called propaganda. Propaganda is very, very powerful. Anything's possible. Only in America, as Don King would say. Stay ghost and collect the most. Damn, I'm going to have to steal that. Sir Kane Lewis, the sheeples are crying today. With a heart, I like how you think. And everybody hates him. He created fear. Dog Puss, learn from the mad genius. Yep. Lamode, what's up? Marketing PR, Diana Thompson. Donald loves to win. Shonda Lee. Read Trump's book on marketing. Good stuff. Morning Blue. What's up, Keen? G. Hagen. Trump has renewed my belief in never quitting and 10xing. All right, I'm gonna say something about that. In my new monthly printed Genius, this will be coming out. First issue we print up end of November, ship probably 1st December. I'm gonna talk about a process, because I can't talk about it on YouTube because the shit would get banned. It has sex in it, but it's a process that I formulated, and I had 3 months of failure. This didn't work. That didn't work. 3 months of failure, right? Once I got it together, it totally changed my dating life. And I have not done, quote, I'm in a relationship now, but I have not, quote, done traditional dating in 10 fucking years because of that process. And I'm going to be putting that in creative pimping, and it's going to blow people's minds. And it comes from not giving up. Dragon, damn, call me brother. That damn internet. That's funny. G hanging me too. You're right. The government, we govern ourselves. I mean, you make money, you run your life. School choice. He spoke to people's fear. Dog puns. I still feel Rudy lied about 9/11. Mother's mustache. Now I want you to think about this. Stop looking at the personality and look at the results. It's hard. He's another morally bankrupt person. He was divorcing his wife and he moved his mistress into the government mansion. That's some ballsy shit. But once again, from a personality defect, it did not stop his greatness from rising. Really focus on that. I get what you're saying, but really, really focus on that. Nicole, what I should invest my money in? You should invest your money in yourself. I don't want to be young, poor, although I do work hard. You should, if you got a job, hear me and hear me now. If you got a job, in the next 12 months, you need to have a side business that you can turn into a full-time business. You need to start making some very important decisions right now, because this is what's going to happen, okay? And the template is really clear. You got money, the GOP loves your ass. You broke, fuck you. That's it. A lot of programs are going to be cut. Obamacare, they're going to roll it back if they can. All this stuff's coming. And if you are a person without resources, you will be impacted. But if you're making six figures or 200,000, 300, 400, 500, 600,000 a year, you ain't gonna feel shit. You ain't even gonna notice. You're not even gonna care. Let's see, the movie Catch Me If You Can, they couldn't take their ass off of his uniform. When you walk in who you're supposed to be and dress the part, you will always win. That's how he won. Matt Dull, how much should you share in your business about online with marketing? I actually don't know what you mean. Oh, I'm gonna let this stream post. Because like I said, I'm running the sale all day. Let's see. Hold on, owning it. So many people hated on Obama. The world didn't collapse, nor will it now. Your future is up to you. Get hustling. That's the attitude. That is the attitude. I kind of have some perceptions on how he did it. I'll break it down. He used propaganda. And also, I have a video on this channel called The New BMW, Beached White Males. I did it 2010, I believe, because I noticed that I was getting a bunch of college educated, or I was getting a bunch of white men who were buying my books, who were buying my product. I mean, it was like a lot. And I was like, what's going on? So he identified there was this huge audience. He identified that audience and he spoke to them because there's 115 million white men in America. I think it's like 120 white women. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but it's something like that. And then there's 44 million black people, 50 million Hispanic, and then everyone else after those large groups. So I think 100, because I haven't looked at it in total, I think 125 million people voted. So that leaves like damn near 200 million that didn't. And all 200 million are not kids under 18. There was a huge sect of people that didn't vote. So if you can capture a predominant audience of a demographic, you can do a lot. And that's what he did. And I will say something else. I have a lot of friends who are really smart on marketing, and every last one of them said he was going to win. These are people who make money from influencing people's behavior. And every last one of them said he was going to win early. They just like, it doesn't matter, because he had isolated that audience and it worked out for him. Shalice Hamley, a smile and a calm voice can go a long way. Cedric, boss mentality makes you 6'9" solid, LOL. Nature versus nurture, politics as usual. Impress, love day. I'm a mother of two. How do I build my company? One day at a time. Melissa Campbell, the Lord is my president. Brian Henry, it's strange times, my friends. Look at a Brexit, now Trump. Nobody expected Brexit to happen, and now Trump. We're all shocked people, but the people who voted. New World Order. Brexit, a lot of people regret that shit now. See, this is the thing. I'll use my friend who had cancer. Typical when people want change and are in a desperate state, they'll try anything. And she tried this experimental new thing where they put this radioactive thing in her liver and her liver failed, and 4 weeks later she was gone. So when you are thirsty for change, when you really want it, you'll do anything. But many people forget about the consequences. And what I believe is going to happen is, once again, if you're making money, you're building a business, these are going to be some great ass times for you. You going to be, I'll just read the copy of what's in the email that's going to go out later. And these are going to be amazing times, because if you're about making money, your crew just got put in office. Sue Crane Lewis, people forget Trump co-wrote a book with Robert Kiyosaki called Why We Want You to Be Rich, about several years ago. Chalisa Chow, why are you going to talk about the process? I need to know about this ASAP. I'm about to get very pimperish. The game is to be sold, not told. Okay, I'll go back to being normal. Let's see. Owning it, Hitler's harnessed the power of collective consciousness for the wrong reasons. It goes to show you what is possible. It's all about mental power. Anyone can learn to harness these laws. Evil self-destructs. I agree with that because, like I said, I had to preface that it was evil, it was wrong, but it was effective. Brian Bias, we're headed for martial law. Learn about Jade Him. I don't think we're already under martial law. Poor communities are already under martial law. We're not headed there. We're already there. What happened in Ferguson, the gentleman that was killed by a remote drone in Texas, we are already under martial law. Know that, feel that. Once again, pay attention. Virtual Input USA is a corporation. Donald Trump is a businessman. This is the opportunity to make a lot of money if you're not fearful and mind fucked. It is. That's why I've been talking about it. I got a video on here, why you need an LLC. Talks about that. Let's see. All right. I hear you, but damn, I mean, it's the reality. I don't have a job. I'm going to get one to follow your template, Cedric. Let's see. State goals collect the most. Jet Ace, Guglielmi has helped make sure that the dying 9/11 first responder got no benefits whatsoever. Hundreds died since 9/11, while Guglielmi made millions working for a firm and sure they got zero. Okay, let me tell you something. I study history, and there's been a trend. The rich, the powerful, and the elite have used the poor for anything from getting votes to taking their lives for experiments in war. Who do you think went over in Iraq? The Army, Air Force, Navy put out a mandate that you couldn't get in the military if you didn't have a high school degree. That's how many people were going into the military, that they could be choosy. The system is designed to use people. There's no way to clean it up. I mean, this is what I come away with. And either you're going to be in the process of building people up, having the business, employing people, which is good, but it's still using people, or you could be diabolical. And Donald Trump used poor white men to get into the office. I saw this quote, and this is when I knew shit was really, really just on another level. I was in this group, and this guy's like, he said, I feel weird about sending a billionaire money. And I didn't challenge him. I just sat there and I meditated on that quote. This guy was so frustrated that he sent someone money he knew was already rich. Think about that. Think about that. That's deep. Surprisingly, it was white women who put Trump over the top. I'm actually going to disagree with you on that one. It was white men. It was poor, uneducated white men. Why? Because there's a lot of them. And I know, once again, I haven't looked at all the stats, and more than likely I probably won't. But I will say one thing that did not surprise me, and I'll talk about it in creative pimping, is the number of women who didn't care about the grab them by the pussy comment. A bunch of women did not give a fuck about that. Didn't really do nothing to him. And I think those women who didn't care voted for him. Let's see, go back. Hardworking people make a difference where it's good or bad. No pain, no gain. Rogue burn, that's true. Cedric, I'm wondering, I have a child with disability, but I'm not sure what I want to do. I definitely want to do something that helps children with cerebral palsy. Any ideas? That I don't know. I'm going to say something that's going to sound very blunt and cold. If you got a kid who has a disability, you need to be getting rich. And you need to find something that will serve a bigger audience, that can make you some money, because know this, a lot of those programs and things are going to get cut. I don't know if, I'm not saying you're on that stuff, but you should be trying to get rich so you can take care of your kid on your own. I mean, this shit's going to happen. Sherry, what is your opinion about starting a nonprofit business? I heard you can make good money if you're at it, if you're successful, not really sure. Can someone make money starting a nonprofit? Goodwill is a nonprofit or not-for-profit and makes billions. My thoughts on nonprofits is not something I'm fond of. I'm a private sector guy. I don't know anything about it, but yeah, you can make money. But that's not something I'll discuss on this channel or even talk about, because typically the whole thing of creating a nonprofit is to help people, and money is not, if you make money, cool. If you don't, cool. That's just not how I roll. Louis the Seller, is the evidence is showing you that you have to be a SOB or morally corrupt to be a great leader? Exit. No. Roosevelt was a great leader. He wasn't like that. What happens is these guys get more press. You don't have to be that way. I'm saying that there were certain mental tricks, propaganda, skill sets, research that were done to pull this off. And one of the things that I had a conversation with one of my marketing friends, Trump, if you go back to Oprah days where Trump's on Oprah, you'll notice that his vocabulary is way more elevated. He intentionally dumbed down his speech patterns and word choice to talk to his base. They were uneducated white men. He dumbed down the rhetoric to talk to them. He dumbed down his vocabulary to talk to them. Do you understand? That's when I knew something was up. Missy Campbella, I believe America's voted for him because he knows how to create wealth. Americans want to be wealthy. I'm on my way. I'm going to disagree with that. Americans voted for him because they were afraid and they were tired of the status quo. He said, fuck you to the GOP. He said, fuck you to everyone else. And a lot of people like a rebel, except rebels, and this is something I've learned from business, is rebels are great for starting businesses, burning shit down, leading a new way, but they're not really good managers. They just typically aren't. Santiago B, poor people's opinions have never counted in any country or civilization ever. Get off that goodwill, boo-hoo. Comment of the day. That is gospel. That is gospel. Never in history have they counted for anything. Poor people are used for elections to get people in office. See. I know the game is to be sold. I'm trying to buy, and you said something, Pimpology is your website. Just go to the website, look at the courses, read the descriptions, and then send my assistant an email what you want, and you'll get 50% off of that. Can a startup? Usually I agree with you 100%, but I'm terrified. You seem to think personal wealth will protect you, us. However, there are many wealthy Jews in Germany. Wealth didn't stop the Holocaust. Great point. Now, you had to go back in history to use that example. And I'm gonna say it's a great point, and I'm gonna stay on it because you can't do that to Jews now anywhere in the world. Jews are the only group of people that have their own country that is supported by other countries. We as the United States send them billions of dollars because they went through that experience and they learned through that experience. They said never again. I have Jewish friends. When I was in the military, I had a Jewish roommate, Derek Shop. We used to talk about this shit, and he just laid it out. He's like, we're going to become your doctors. You may hate us, but you're going to fucking need us. That shit's real. So until you learn that, and once again, all right, I'm black, right? If you didn't know this, brown, it doesn't rub off. This is not, blackface. And I had a situation with a female, 5'2", who attacked me. I called the cops. The cops believe me. My ex-wife, I came home from work. I used to work at Scotch Rite. She was in a bad mood. She's like, I'm going to call the police on you. Have your black ass arrested. And I handed her the phone, being a smart ass, right? Little did I know that she would call them. She did. Cops believed me. I remember it. who lived in Marietta. Cop had his flashlight like that, and ma'am, I don't think he touched you. So this has been my experience of being in not such, a wealthy position, but an upwardly mobile position where there's just a lot of shit don't happen to me. It just doesn't. But part of it is exposure and some other stuff. And I'm going to say something else controversial. Go ahead and name all of the rich black men who've been shot by the police. Please name one or two or three or four. Please Google it. I'll put it in the name one. All of the black folks who've been shot or abused and murdered by the police have been poor, living in poor neighborhoods with high racial profiling. I'm not saying this shit doesn't exist. I'm just giving you a blueprint on how to actually get out of that shit. Sean, I got a kettle. I make kettle corn during the summer. I have no job. Glenn is what I have. I'm going to have to hustle corn this winter. How can I get you some? You're going to have to make it do what it do. U.S., the largest corporation in the world? Yes. They care about Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby pissed some people off and they got his ass. Brian, I hate to say it, but they would never let a woman run this country or another Clinton for that matter. I'm going to go with you on the second part. If Hillary hadn't had such an abrasive personality and such a history, she probably would have won. I also think that if Comey hadn't did that little thing he did with the emails, I think she would have won. But she was that close. So I don't think it was so much a woman. I just think that she had a lot of baggage. She had more baggage than he did. Wealthy Jews. Okay. That shit's not happening today. Okay. Jewish people are not being killed in mass today. Jewish people run Hollywood, media, and a lot of other stuff. They're not being killed today. Now, I'm going to go real deep on you. It took Jewish people 2,000 years to get their act together. Is it going to take black folks that fucking long? Go ahead and look at history. Jewish people have been persecuted for thousands of fucking years, and it took them a long time to actually say, oh, we're going to have to control shit so they don't kill us. Give me recent examples, please. Because when someone has to go back damn near 100 years, yes, they were killed. That's why they run shit now, because that's the way they protect themselves. Manipulate poor white people off being a rich white man on television. Boom. I mean, that's the game. He did it. Because I was sitting there. Let's see. I don't know what Jim Rohn's take on government change is. Ebony Simon. Group economics is the thing. Most black people don't care anywhere near the network other races do. I mean, this is why I'm doing this. If you don't want to be impacted by this change that's coming, you need to make some damn money. Is money going to solve all of your problems? No. But if you have a choice of living in a nicer neighborhood that is safer, not 100% safe, or living in the hood, what stops you from doing that? Money. If you got to deal with one of these shitty exchange healthcare programs versus getting the premium program, what stops you from doing that? Money. If you got a kid with disabilities and you need special treatment, and what stops your kid from getting that special treatment if you can't get in the government program? Money. A lot of people keep saying money doesn't make people happy, but it sure solves a lot of fucking problems. A lot. A lot. It just does. Let's see. Trump is a highly skilled salesperson despite anything else. True. You can learn this as well. He knows how to appeal to his market, follow suit. I mean, that's what he did. I mean, seriously. I keep saying he dumbed down his vocabulary to speak to his base, because if he used his normal cadence and used his normal verbiage, they wouldn't fucking understand him. You know how deep that is? Nope. Okay, let me say it again. None of my membership programs, which has a monthly fee, is 50% off. No. Only the self-paced courses are 50% off. Now, if you do become a member of Culturally Hustler, you get consults at 50% off. Danny, no matter what, wealth will be created, chores will be done, and lots of pretty smiles will be in existence. Pretty much. Pretty much. Cedric. Hillary's baggage was much bigger than his. I mean, look at the results. I mean, I'm a results-based person. You got to look at the results. Real money. Lack of group of economics is an excuse for a black person to lose. Actually, a couple of black multi-millionaire Wall Street guys were whacked back in the 90s. Okay, so 2 black rich guys were whacked in the 90s, and probably this month 4 or 6 or 7 black guys, poor people, be killed. You kind of making my case for me, man. You're making a case for me. So I'm just saying. I mean, it's you got to make a choice, man. You got to make a choice because we know what the GOP is going to do. So if you align your personal economy with what they're doing, you're going to be fine. And let's be real. Let's say Hillary won. Would that not be, you still would be better off getting richer. I don't care. I've had people fight me on this for years. Money doesn't matter. It's about helping people. You can't help anybody when your ass is fucking broke. You just don't have the ability. You can make some cookies. You can drive them to the store. But money makes a difference. It just does. I'd rather be outdoors. I feel like this was a roll of the dice. Either Trump will help maybe get our debt under control as he experienced in doing, or shit's going to be very interesting. Okay, I want y'all to do this for me. Go to Google and Google Fred Trump, which is Donald J. Trump's father. He's the one that built the business. Do some research on him, read some articles. Someone said it in the comments. Donald Trump is a great salesman. He's not a good manager. He's a great salesman. The guy on Shark Tank, Kevin, I think his name, he's a great salesman. He caused the CEO of Mattel to lose her fucking job. If you look at these guys who are great salespeople and you look in their history, you'll see carnage. He's not a good manager. Maybe you'll hire the right people. I don't know. Yeah, money makes a hell of a difference. And, you know, the big thing that's happening that is just really alarming a lot of people is they feel powerless because they're looking for someone to come save them. And Superman and Spider-Man and Batman and Iron Man and Captain America don't fucking exist. They just don't. Private sector. Yep. The government focused on the top 5%, the remaining 9% will remain poor as they always have. That would be factually incorrect. The government is controlled and bought and paid by the top 5%. That's the truth. They're called lobbyists. They're called lobbyists. No. You got to understand. You got to buy your politicians. That's the people who buy their politicians win. And I feel, I could be wrong, that many people are going to have buyer's remorse on this in about a year and a half, if not sooner. The markets are going to go crazy, then they'll settle down, and life will go on. Because what I'm doing, like, all right, look at my actions. I woke up, looked at my phone, saw people was freaking out. I didn't join the whoa, the world crowd. I said, you smell that? Damn, that sounds like money in the air. And I started taking action. I was like, fuck it. I'll just do a mind over matter sale and do a live stream. And based on the numbers, this is the biggest stream I've had ever. So it is funny. People have to understand that if you have to hustle, it could be on your side. People got to grind for themselves. Jumbotron. It's like having hoes that never appreciate. Yeah, I did bring superheroes in here because people feel that someone's going to come save their asses. It's not going to happen. You got to buy the politicians. I mean, this is the thing. And how do you buy the politicians? You go ahead and you get yourself some money and you get yourself some positioning in society. I remember the last year when I used to look at this stuff before I stopped caring. Jews represented 3% of the country's population, but donated 25% of all political contributions. Now that's very disproportionate, but you see the results. Owning it. Don't waste your time worrying people. Time is the most valuable resource we have. Focus on what you can do to change. Everything else is external. Oh, this is YouTube. YouTube streaming is not like Facebook streaming. You get typically more views after the stream is over. So that is definitely a thing. All right, so I'm gonna close this thing down because we're over the hour, and I try to keep them shorter because nobody's gonna watch a 2 and 3 hour stream. That's just not gonna happen. But well, then again, I could be wrong. It has happened to me. For those of you who want to put your mind over money and not let money rule your mind, 50% off any course I have on hustlerskungfu.lifeskills.com, hustlerskungfudojo.com. This is how you do it. Go to the site, see what you want, send my assistant at hustlerskungfu@gmail.com what you want. She will send you a link. Once you make payment, you'll be added to whatever course you want, and you'll get an email with your login credentials. You are dropping jewels. Trump wants us to be responsible. Nothing's a handout. Work hard, save money. I disagree with that. He's an egomaniac that's very skilled in manipulating people. It ain't even about us. See, this is the thing you got to understand. We all are being used. It's just some of the use helps us, some of the use hurts us, but we're all being used. This is a big ass game. And you need to care about yourself more than anyone else. Al, no, you're not. Broderick, thanks for the recommendation. Coaching programs are worth it. They save you time. I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Let's put it this way. When I woke up this morning and I looked at the carnage, because, I study history. Here's a tip for you. Wells Fargo, which is the biggest bank in the United States of America, got that way during the Great Depression because they bought up all the defunct thrifts. When I saw the blood and carnage and the gashing, I said, oh shit, there's money around here. And you can do the same thing. I didn't come from a family with money. I didn't come from a family with connections. I dropped out my junior year in college. I just look at the marketplace and react. So with that, I will catch you folks later. Everything's below the video. Just go ahead and hit those sites, and I will see you.